On the show today, Matt Quinn from Mount Joy. I remember, Mike, do you remember when Matt was on the first time? It was during COVID, and I think he performed a song, and he also contributed to the Tony T EP years ago. And
forgot about that.
Yes. By the way, next, and I don't know if CJ's seen this or not, next pod, there's a Tony T video.
Oh my God.
A song, and it is outrageous. So that's next time. This time, Matt Quinn from Mount Joy joins us as we celebrate the end of one August and the beginning of another. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. Brought to you by MortgageCS. Become a MortgageCS Ricky VIP by going to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Kornblau Law, the official law firm of the Ricky, and Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, the official canned cocktail of the Ricky. A reminder is always join our Bark in the Park team to raise money for Providence Animal Center. October 11th is Bark in the Park. You can run the 5K. You can do the 1 mile walk. You can sign up and just fucking hang out for all I care as long as you raise money. If you join the team and raise $50, you get our very cool team t-shirt, which was designed by Philly's own Olivia Smith. It's a great shirt of Rebel, of course. Surfside, perhaps after Bark in the Park, you have a Surfside iced tea and vodka. 100 calories, Mike. I don't know if you're aware of that. Were you aware only 100 calories?
100. That's an even number.
Even number, 100 calories, lightly sweet. What flavor is your favorite? Doesn't matter because they're all awesome. Maybe you enjoy the green tea, vodka, the lemonade and vodka, the strawberry lemonade and vodka, whatever you enjoy. You get it wherever you get your canned cocktails. And I know I've said it's the perfect drink for summer, but truly it's the perfect drink for fall as well. If you can't find it anywhere near you, go to drinksurfside.com. You got to be 21. Please enjoy it responsibly. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Welcome to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy whose show is alive right now as you're listening to this, most probably, right? Because it starts at midnight. Yeah. That's Mike Levin.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Paper Season 1 is out on Peacock as of 12:01 Eastern Standard Time of September 4th. So watch it all on Peacock.
The whole thing drops at once?
Whole thing drops at once, all 10 episodes. It also got today, renewed for Season 2.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you, which listeners of this podcast already knew because of where I have been recording the podcast. I guess viewers of the podcast will have
because you've
known.
been writing for Season 2.
Because for a couple weeks. So,
okay.
But I guess it's good to make it official.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. It's exciting. We've been working on the show for a long time. Had the premiere party last week, which was dope. A lot of really funny actors. It's cool to be a part of, a big fucking franchise. It's easily the most, I think I said this, but easily the most promoted show I've ever been on. It's crazy. It's crazy seeing it everywhere. It's promoted all over the place. So this is dope. So I'm excited about it. I hope you guys like it. It feels like somewhat of a culmination of all my career and stuff. It's a big deal. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be doing this podcast from here, straight from Season 2. And I don't know why I'm making a speech. What am I doing? Why am I doing it like this?
Who else do you need to thank, Mike?
I feel like I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking. I hadn't prepared anything, but I started going, and I'm like, well, I guess I gotta land the plane of some sort, but I'm not saying anything. Just watch the show. Watch the show. It's The Office. I loved The Office before I was on the show. It was one of our like classic like calm down shows before bed. And to be honest, it's really dope. And I hope everybody likes it. And if they don't, then it's my fault.
Well, congratulations. My wife and I've mentioned this before, both Office fans, she and I, but her psycho. So I'm sure she will watch. We're only watching one show right now. That is the new Alien show. So I'm sure
I'm watching it too. A rare overlap, me and you.
Yeah. Wow. Are you enjoying it?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
Some things about it that I don't love, but some things about it I really do. So I think I'm definitely gonna keep watching, which is
I
good.
would say as an Aliens fan, Prometheus guy, first and foremost, but
Prometheus is fun as hell.
Let's put it this way. It could have been really horrible. And the fact that every episode, I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's not perfect the way you describe it, but I think it's good. So
I really like Noah Hawley stuff. I love Fargo very much. I think he did a great job with that. And so taking on another franchise is cool. Also, I should say Oscar from the original show is in the show.
Yes.
And the rest of the cast, Donald Gleason, Sabrina Impactore from White Lotus season 2, Melvin Gregg from American Vandal season 2, Ramona Young from Never Have I Ever, Tim Key from a bunch of stuff in the UK, Alex Edelman from a bunch of stuff. He won a Tony. There's more. Oh,
this
Chelsea
sounds like
Fry.
another speech.
Yeah, it is. What am I doing? What am I doing?
I don't know.
I don't know. We have. Just watch the fucking show. Who cares?
Watch the fucking show.
It doesn't matter. It's all on Peacock. Thank you for humoring me. Let's talk about the Sixers or something.
Well, all right. Let's do one quick Sixers thing and then a big NBA thing, and then Matt from Mountjoy will join us. Quick Sixers thing. So there's this weird thing in the world now where I will discover somebody who seems to be insanely famous, and yet I've never heard of this person at all.
Yeah, that's the age that we are both at. Yeah,
I also think it's the world too, right?
The world,
like,
especially since COVID, the world got like 7,000 people that you've never heard of are like the most famous people that other people know.
And I'll say the one just to bring up, like I know who Mr. Beast is now, and I know all of his videos get 500 million views. I don't know anybody that watches them. Now I know people that watch them.
Can't imagine it.
So anyway, this Paul George video, this is one of those guys. What's his name? Speed? I know Speed or
I show Speed.
I show Speed. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Had never heard of this guy. And then all of a sudden everybody's talking about him.
Not trying to be disrespectful. Who the fuck is this guy?
Well, his YouTube, he's got 14 million YouTube subscribers.
There's people out there.
But have you heard of this guy?
No, not at all.
I show Speed. Okay. So there's this clip with him and Paul George, and it has circulated the internet. Here is the clip.
So you from Philly?
Hell no.
What?
I'm from Cali.
You from Cali?
I'm from Cali.
What you in Philly for?
Play here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I thought you was from Philly.
Nah.
I thought you had history in Philly.
Nah.
Cause you look like
It's love here though. It's love.
because you look like somebody who plays from Philly.
I look like a Philly. What's it? Philly John?
Yes.
Philly John?
So people got upset with the hell no. I didn't take it that way.
Yeah, I don't take it that way either.
I took him as he's from California. He's not from here. Like he's been Paul George. It makes me think that he's not even consuming Philly fans at all. The way that he seems so calm about how everybody.
He doesn't seem to bother it. But I get it. It is a very Paul George thing for him to keep stepping in it in this kind of way.
Yes,
I am not bothered by it. I think Paul George was more like reacting to a guy that he might know. I guess I don't know what Paul George's relationship is with Speed here.
I show Speed.
But he's probably a little bit like, bro, I'm famous. Who are you? And like, you don't know, you don't know anything about. You're doing an interview with me in this car for some reason, and you've done essentially no research. You don't even know why I'm in Philadelphia. Do you know what sport I play? Are you guessing? Like, what do you? That seems to me more of the thing. So, I guess in a filmed interaction like that, and where Paul George is probably like, I'm trying to be funny. Hell no to me was more him trying to be funny in an awkward moment rather than saying like, God, I would never relate to anyone from Philadelphia. I put more on the interviewer, I guess, if that man considers himself an interviewer.
I watched one other clip of that guy, and he went to Amish country, and he went to this ice cream store.
Okay.
And he asked the girl, I don't know, seemed like the Amish girl selling the ice cream. She seemed like, I don't know, 25 years old or something. He goes in, he orders the ice cream, and he goes, do you know who I am? And she's like, I don't. And he's like, no way. And he's like completely fucking floored that the person doesn't know who he is.
That's rough, man. Fame is crazy. Fame is wild at what it makes people do and think.
Yes.
And feel about themselves. It's
the
like,
ice cream looked great, to be honest with you.
That's good. Hey, shout out ice cream, man. We got to shout out ice cream. We don't shout out ice cream enough on this pod.
Nope.
I have really just recently been getting into Chunky Monkey.
Oh, really?
Because of my nut journey. Because of my crazy, it feels like we're doing an ad, but
yeah.
I avoided all nuts. I have a really bad peanut allergy, but I avoided all nuts for most of my life out of like precaution, basically. And then finally, I like slowly worked a couple in, and now I'm full go on all nuts but peanuts, which is obviously a legume. Before we get hit in the comments, I obviously know.
Yeah.
But shout out to legume heads. But now, so Chunky Monkey has cashews. And walnuts. I'm sorry, walnuts. Okay. And
walnuts
they're
great too.
Sick. I love it. I'm having a blast. Banana walnut chocolate. What a treat. So shout out ice cream. Shout out legumes. Not for me, but I guess I get what it's like to be super famous.
Yeah.
I guess I get it. Yeah.
Because you have ice cream.
Because ice cream, it makes me feel famous. When I'm eating ice cream, I'm like, how do people not know who I am? That's what makes me think that.
We were going to do the nut test on the pod.
Oh, right. I forgot about it. We did talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
No nut test on the pod. But
okay.
But I'm good. I'm good to go. Throw any nut at me that's not peanuts, and I'm ripping it.
Ooh, you got to try macadamia.
I have.
Okay.
Great.
It's excellent, right?
Yeah.
Cashews and macadamias, I think, are the tastiest nuts. Yeah.
Mix them all up. I love it.
So the other thing before we get to Matt is that I woke up to another Pablo Torre bombshell. Pablo released a pod today outlining an endorsement deal that Kawhi Leonard signed with a company that was definitely a fraud company, which, by the way, we've heard before.
Yeah.
Was definitely a fraud company. Got paid $7 million a year to...
Good gig if you can get it.
To do nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yep. Now...
essentially to circumvent the salary cap of what?
So that is the way that it is presented. So I listened to the entire thing, and the couple things that are misleading from the one clip that go around is the one thing is the insider that said it was to circumvent the cap kept saying that the person who said this to them kept saying LOL when it was happening, which is certainly not like what
in real life or text.
I don't know if he was talking about email or not talking about email.
Okay.
So here is my having been around companies that do big sports deals, and I don't want to get too into money stuff here, but also the time at which this company created, which was when interest rates were zero. It's very easy to raise a lot of money for a company. So this company that hired Kawhi to do nothing essentially raised almost $1 billion as like a fake green company. That what they would do is try to offset the carbon you created by planting a certain number of trees. Mm-hmm. And because everybody was companies were very into showing that they did that at that time, it was very easy for them to rope people in.
And very into showing that they're doing it, but not actually doing it, maybe.
Yes, not doing anything. It's like, oh, can we pay them $100 million to plant trees? Great, get it done. So this company went and hired a bunch of celebrity endorsers, including Leonardo DiCaprio, who's the fucking Robert Downey Jr., and they signed a giant sponsorship deal with the Clippers to be the jersey patch and blah, 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 and also hired Kawhi for $7 million a year. I just don't believe, I think what happens in general is these companies get all this money, don't know what the fuck to do with it, aren't even running a real company, and spend a bunch of money on celebrity endorsers and aren't even really doing anything anyway, aside from creating visibility for their fake company. I do not believe that. Now, do I believe that sometimes teams will push endorsements toward players because they are doing a brand deal with them? Yeah. I mean, you see that all the time. Like a company that does a big brand deal with a team also gets an endorser that's on the team. I guess I just don't believe that this is them like circumventing the cap by signing Kawhi Leonard to this fucking contract and having everything tied into each other so intently. It would make Steve Ballmer a very stupid person.
Because Ballmer is on a part of this company.
Invested in it. So he invested $50 million in a company, which, by the way, for Steve Ballmer, I don't know how much that really is, but also the company then spent $200 million with the Clippers.
Yeah.
So,
but rich people don't think of $50 million. It's still $50 million.
Yes, it's still $50 million. It's still $50 million.
They're not like giving it away.
Yeah.
If they were, then they would give it away.
I guess I wouldn't be shocked if it were true, but I would be surprised if they were able to prove anything here.
So you're saying that by how it looks so obviously bad, there's no way that that's what they intended.
Not just that. There's that, and I see situations like this with companies like this. By the way, the company was also like went bankrupt and was sued for fraud and was proven that they were fraudulent as well. So like we saw what happened with Color Star, right? So
that's how I was going to bring up. Yeah.
So the thing with Color Star is not that I think the Sixers were doing anything untoward, is that somebody was willing to pay them a couple $100,000 for a sponsorship and they fucking took it. And that's what they did. And they didn't go investigating the company. Somebody wanted to give them money, so they took the money. So I guess
it's different because one of the investors of this company and the company decided to pay one of the players for that guy's team. And so it does look like what it is or what it seems to be. Even if it might be obvious, it's different than Color Star in that way.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you're right, and maybe the NBA investigates it, and it's like there's no concrete proof, and they don't do anything.
By the way, there's no chance anything will happen. That is my prediction. No, 0 chance.
Well, how is this different from the Joe Smith situation?
Because the Joe Smith situation is they provably had evidence that they circumvented the salary cap. Like, I do not believe that they will show evidence that the Clippers circumvented the salary. They did this, like promised Kawhi Leonard, $20 million and said, and then called this company. And then Steve Ballmer called them and said, I'm going to give you $50 million. Just give half of it to Kawhi Leonard. I just don't think, I don't think it's, and I also believe that there are so many other teams that have like situations. By the way, a lot of them being sneaker companies.
Yes.
And that have like similar situations in which players get endorsement money from a big team sponsor that I just don't think they're going to chase him down over it, because I don't think they think he was breaking the rules.
Interesting.
That's my, but I could be wrong. And I thought it was, I just want to say this, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, it was amazing work by Pablo. Yeah. The podcast was amazing. The investigating was amazing. All amazing. 100%.
I'm still in the middle of listening to it. I didn't finish it on my way to work today, but Pablo's the man.
Oh, he's the best.
Hall of Fame member, has been doing such good shit. He's the only one in the world still doing good journalism. It's really just Pablo. It's down to him. Nobody else does it anymore.
Just him.
And he's making it fun as hell. That's sick. I love that for him and for us and the Process Hall of Fame's integrity in general. Mike Muscala cheering Pablo along as a member of the Process Hall of Fame. I mean, I just think this is a very me take, but like the appearance of impropriety, if there's enough of that all the time, then like it just indicates actual impropriety. And all sorts of businesses and politicians and everything should do much more work. More work should be demanded of them to keep those things separate. You shouldn't be able to just like, well, I own both companies or I own all this stuff. So like it's one hand pays the other. It's like, oh, silly me. What could I have done? I didn't know anything about it. Like whether it's like, I don't think there's gonna be a smoking gun Balmer text or whatever, but like when everything gets so connected like that and there's no isolating, okay, I can't actually own this thing because that's too close to this other thing I own. Then it just seems the appearance of impropriety is really like hard to miss. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm curious from your perspective why you would have a problem with Kawhi Leonard making $7 million more a year.
Well, it's the sense of there's like, if there's not a salary cap in the NBA and every team can just decide, let's pay all the money that we can pay him, then that's great.
And by the way, in baseball, that's why the Mets are able to give Juan Soto a fucking suite because there's no salary cap.
Yeah.
There's
still luxury tax in baseball.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's still slightly different, not exactly fully free and fair and everything, but closer to it. And then also on the downside of baseball is like, the Pirates and whoever, the A's are spending like $150 on their rosters and still trying to find a way to turn a profit without fielding a good baseball team, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I also think like Kawhi should fucking go plant some trees, man. We need trees in LA. Interestingly, maybe this might be interesting to some listeners, like LA is famous for its palm trees, obviously. Palm trees don't provide much shade, but require a lot of water. And so there's talk of replacing some palm trees with more trees that would actually like help provide shade and cool areas down. There's just not enough shade in the whole city. So Kawhi and Balmer would have done a service had he actually done the thing that he was getting paid to do, or at least, been a part of sponsoring that and encouraging people and the government to go plant some fucking trees. So go do it. We need it.
Before I want to just hedge the fucking bootlicker emails or whatever, because I said I don't think it's fucking, because I don't think it's circumventing the salary cap. I'm not sticking up. I could give a shit about Steve Ballmer or this fake company or anything like that. I'm explaining from my perspective how I could see it as happening, though I understand your position that everything is so tied in together that even if they're not doing it on purpose,
yes, it
is still gross, right?
Yes. That's how I feel.
And
where do people find the time to make such fake companies?
Well,
go see a movie.
That's why money can't be free. It's fucking all these people just
too much time
raising money.
Oh, yes. Go to bed. Go hang out. Did you ever just hang out? Everyone's making another fake company today to funnel money through to put Shaq in the metaverse in a cement mixing company. Like what is it all for?
Yep.
What is it all for?
By the way, well, that's probably a different thing. Like when we see Embiid doing Crypto.com commercials, but Crypto.com is also the patch on the Sixers jerseys. Yeah.
Yeah. Embiid should be doing sponsorships for like a pretzel company. Philly soft pretzels. Do that.
Yeah. Something real Philly. Maybe
something
Rita's.
That it makes something. That does something. Yeah, Rita's, my former employer. Rita's Water Ice. Why not that? Joel? Anybody? Paul George? Doing interviews with fake famous guy? Nobody knows him? What's going on?
The rights to Ricky Sanchez is presented, as always, by DraftKings Sportsbook, and we're doing this on Wednesday night, so the NFL season starts tomorrow. Game 1, week on. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Of course, we have the Birds on Thursday night, but then the good thing about having the Eagles play on Thursday night is that Sunday, you're just sort of left to your own. Like nothing really matters on Sunday. You can just enjoy football. You enjoy it with DraftKings Sportsbook. Whether you want to bet anytime touchdowns, first touchdown, same game parlays. I'm actually looking at the Eagles game right now. So Saquon is plus 400 for first TD scorer. You sort of feel like almost like the Washington game in the NFC Championship game that maybe he scores on the very first play or something. Jalen is plus 450 as first-time scorer Also, Jalen is minus 145 as anytime TD scorer. I don't think that's a bad deal. I feel like he's going to score a touchdown every single game with tush push, right? So you want to bet the NFL, you do a DraftKings Sportsbook. If you're a new customer, you bet $5, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, get over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. That's all if you're a new customer. Use code RTRS. I kind of like that. Even though I don't like betting minus 145, it's like no fun getting odds like that. Jalen Hurts anytime TD score. Anyway, your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code RTRS. That is code RTRS to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you bet $5 plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got to be 21. See show notes for details. Now back to the pod. Matt Quinn from Mountjoy. The return.
What's up, big dog?
It's
How
good
we
to see
doing?
your face. How are you?
Doing well. Got
Yeah?
like a couple weeks off, which feels really good. It's good.
I now know intimately about your tour because one of the members of Mountjoy, his fiance, right? Fiance
Mhm.
is whose name is Jay, plays on the team I coach. Spike's got it ready. The team I coach. I coach basketball.
Boom.
in Los Angeles.
Boom.
Coach, Mike.
I have told her about this audio
Yeah?
sample.
Yeah, that's nice.
Coach my ass off.
She's played. She's nasty. She plays on my wife's team, Alyssa. I've asked her to play on my co-ed team where I would play, but she has not been able to make it because of your tour. And so to that I say, what the fuck? What do you value
I'm saying
more?
the same thing.
Thank you. All right,
Wait a
we'll
minute.
figure it out.
Hold on. The fiance of somebody in the band is on the team that you coach? Is that
Yeah.
the way? Okay.
She's like serious at basketball. Like I think she played for the Canadian women's national team. Like I think she played in college. I think she's quite good.
She's good, dude. She's nasty.
Seems like a
Amos
ringer.
set it up. Because Amos Lee is friends with them, and she was like, he's like, yeah, my friend Jay. And I was like, oh, cool. She showed up, and then she took off her warm ups, and it was like Illinois warm ups, and I was like, okay. And then she played. She's like, oh, she's good, dude. She's really good. It's very, very fun to have her on the team. It's very exciting, and exciting to have you a part of my basketball journey itself.
I love it. We definitely sent our best. You don't want to see me out there for sure.
You gotta
No.
come to a game though. You come to a game.
I would love to come to a game. That sounds fun.
Matt, it seems like you mentioned a couple weeks off. Are you like? It seems like you guys are always touring. Like it's just become this massive thing. Like how long is this? How long a break? Have you had like an extended break in the last few years?
Yeah, we kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't feel that way, but like we played a festival like earlier in the summer, and we ran into like a drummer or someone who was in a band that was in another band, and we were like, oh, we saw you at this festival. He's like, you guys are on every festival. And that was the moment when I realized like maybe we're doing too much. But yeah, it feels that way. We kind of get the winters off like early on in our tour or in our career. Sorry, tour brain. But early on in our career, we like just toured all throughout the year. It was insane. And the winter is like a pretty tough time to tour because like especially early on when you're carrying all your gear out and it's like 17 degrees outside. And so we've kind of just settled on being the like outside, come drink a beer and listen to Mountjoy band, which works out because kind of get to not tour in the winter.
I get so excited to see the videos and like, they're doing 2 dates here and 2 dates there. It just I remember the first time you were on the pod, it was during COVID. It was when you did right around when you did the Tony T song, I think. And just the fucking explosion of Mountjoy has been wild to watch. And when I look at the videos and see the venues that you're playing, it's exciting to watch. I hope you at least get a moment in between the tours to sit back and reflect on what the last half decade has been like for you.
Yeah. I mean, occasionally I would be lying if it's just like Jalen Hurts up here. Like I never think about it, just 1% better every day or something. But
Last year doesn't count. We don't care about last year anymore. It's over.
Yeah. We didn't win anything. Yeah, no, I mean, you think about it a little bit, but to be honest, I feel like it's just like the less you do think about it and the more kind of in the moment you are, I feel like better we play and like the more fun it is, honestly. So it's one of those weird, weird sort of things about life where it's like, if you really soak it in, then you'd probably be worse at it, and then it wouldn't be as fun. But it does kind of suck to just have it kind of fly by and like, really like the tours will end and I'll be like, that was crazy. We did X, Y, or Z. But in the moment, like it's more like day of, we're trying to think of a cover, or, someone's sick and it's like, oh man, are we going to be able to do this? It all kind of, you get pretty zoomed in, but yeah, it's been crazy.
What is one small diva type thing that you now won't do that you used to do? Or like one thing that you're like, I actually do demand this now. We're big enough that I can go like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest one for me for forever will just be we don't carry any of our gear. Like that's such a huge part of touring when you're like,
sure,
99.9% of musicians is just like, there's so much shit. It's like that you got to lug around, and that's definitely the worst part of it. So just showing up and like all my stuff is set up and dialed in, and I just plug in and play a concert, and then I leave and go.
And because
to
of that,
place.
You feel yourself getting weaker by the by
for
the day.
sure, for sure. I will say that
workout.
I mean, most of us out there, I feel like a lot of smokers' arms in the music industry. For sure.
So when you're back for a couple of weeks, so by the way, you guys have 2 shows at the Mann at the end of September. I remember it was actually the last time I saw you. It was at the Link, and I saw Charlie Hall there at the same. Oh, when you were doing the show with the Kelseys, right? And he had mentioned, Charlie Hall from War on Drugs. He had mentioned that when he goes off tour, his family has to like reintegrate him into their lives, but like. So when you go from different city every day, playing show to all of a sudden 2 weeks with nothing, is it watch the fills every night, sleep, get as much rest as you can, or do you get bored in 2 days and you need to start doing stuff again?
Kind of the bored in 2 days thing, but I would say like, I know Spike, you're like a runner. Like I become like a person with habits that aren't real and will die as soon as I go on tour. But like, I'm like, oh, I'm a runner. I run now. I'll go on 3 runs, or something like that. Just cause you do have this like adrenaline that just like drops you off, without the fix, it's like you get this adrenaline every day on tour where you wake up and you kind of suppress it, but at the end of the day, like playing in front of lots of people or doing anything in front of lots of people, it gets your heart rate going. And then not doing that for like a couple of weeks, you need something to like, whether it's going for a run or like, a lot of people do like heroin, stuff like that. But obviously that's like frowned upon in general.
It is a little bit, yeah.
By the way, you say that. So I remember in my rock radio days, back in one of my 17 careers, I met, I was working for WISP, and we did this small studio session with STP while Scott Weiland was alive. And it was while Scott Weiland was off heroin, but while he was off heroin, he got addicted to like working out, and he would just work out like 5 times a day because he had this fucking thing that he needed something to replace the heroin with. And he, at that point, now obviously he succumbed to it eventually, but at that point it was exercise. It's funny you say that, but I remember that distinctly.
I mean, I'm making light of a terrible thing that is very real, where it's like, yeah, you're just jumping out of airplanes every day, and then all of a sudden you can't go up in the airplane. It's like, you got to replace that with something. And obviously music has been hit really hard by drug use and stuff like that. So I shouldn't make too much light of it, but yeah, I mean, you can totally see where people are like, let's do something destructive. Something. But
The Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you proudly by MortgageCS. We love MortgageCS. Got this email. He signed it from Brian from the Love Boat. That wasn't his name in the email. His email was Brady, but he signed it Brian from the Love Boat. Here's what Brian had to say about MortgageCS. Spike, want to send a shout out for MortgageCS. Feel free to edit as needed. I'm not editing anything. Hey, writes Ricky Sanchez family. Wanted to shout out MortgageCS, especially Alec. Alec is a good dude. Both Ben and Alec are good dudes. A few years ago, my brother and I were looking into investing in real estate. So we reached out to Alec. Despite no guarantee of anything in return, he answered multiple questions over emails and calls. Fast forward to current day, my wife and I are preparing to buy our first home. We reached out to a few mortgage folks, but none of them would talk to us until we filled out their mortgage application. That is nobody except Alec. He continued to answer questions for us. He even took a call a few days before his wedding. Last month, we were in Philly to look at houses, grabbed dinner with Alec and his wife, Jess. They were great conversation, and he even picked up the tab. No guarantee on that moving forward. Honestly, even though this is our first go around, I can't envision working with anyone other than MortgageCS. That's how it is. It's different. I've used, including MortgageCS, 3 different mortgage brokers, and the first 2 were fine, whatever. But the experience in MortgageCS is not fine, whatever. It is, I don't even want you to experience what the other side is like. All I can tell you is that with MortgageCS, not only are they going to work with you to get the best rate they can get for you, and that's important, but what's also important is this is like stressful. Buying a house is stressful. Getting a mortgage is stressful. When you have somebody like MortgageCS who is responding right away to your communications, responding in full to your communications. You ever send an email? Yeah, it's 3 questions. You get the answer to the first one, and then you have to wait another day to even get them to respond. That is not the way MortgageCS is. Alec, Ben, their teams are awesome. Now, if you're looking to buy a home soon, mortgage rates right now at an 11-month low. So if you bought a house and you want to refinance, they can help you with that. But if you're looking, now might not be a bad time. And stop waiting for the whole thing where you wait for the Fed to cut rates. The last time the Fed cut rates, mortgage rates actually went up. They're not directly tied like that. All that is to say, I'm not an expert on that. They are an expert on that. Alec and Ben are an expert on that. They're the ones you need to talk to. You can call or text Ben, who is the CEO, anytime, 267-391-7425. I talk about Alec and Ben all the time, but their entire team is awesome. That is 267-391-7425. Or go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky to set up your consultation. Do not use anyone else. Use MortgageCS. That is my recommendation to you. This advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. MortgageCS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Company NMLS 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com/Ricky for more information. Now back to the Ricky.
Do you ever hurt your voice by yelling too much about a Philadelphia sport?
This is a good question because this steers it a little bit to basketball. Yes, at the Eagles games almost every time. I feel like the Eagles game, the noise floor is so high that even to just talk to my friends, I'm gonna not have a voice the next day. Which is a credit to that building. But I think the other thing is I've run into randomly like Mount Joy, the only intersection, as you guys sort of know, is coaches with the NBA. The only intersection with the NBA is coaches. There are no players.
Coaches. Yeah. Really? There's more than one that is.
Well, I guess he's no longer Coach Bud. And I don't. A few.
You can't mention who it is. You can't put them on blast if they're fans of your music. I think you can.
I think I can. Coach Bud is a fan of.
That's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because both. So Nick Nurse obviously is Mr. Musician guy, and they both seem so super intense. I guess I'm surprised that they're both music guys, actually, given how they are normally.
I don't know Coach Bud super well. He's come to a couple Mount Joy events and super nice, but I couldn't say that in those interactions, like you can't know a guy, it's
right.
It's not really like that. But what I was going to say is, that honestly I completely forget, but the coach thing is wait, what was the question? Jeez, shouldn't have.
Oh, do you ever hurt your voice screaming about sports?
Oh yeah. So I've told every both of these coaches hey, this is a real thing. I think that coaches listening to Doc talk was painful. It's as a person who uses his voice for a living, there are warm-ups. There's a way to yell. There's a way that you could do it. And I have tried. I don't think either of them gave a shit, but I have tried to be hey, there's this thing I do before every show. There's these warm-ups you can do. And no one's really taking the bait on it, but
if Doc Rivers comes to you and goes hey, I need some vocal warm-ups. What do you tell him? Coach Doc.
Basically that without training, the average like person just kind of like yells from their chest, and you just tear up your chest so quickly that you get this sort of raspy voice. But you can sort of like angle your voice if you do warm-ups and stuff to be like more using your head and using your kind of balancing out where you're speaking from. It's actually pretty simple, and it would like change these guys' lives. It changed my life because I used to blow my voice out early on. I had no idea how to sing. I was just copying singers that I liked and just blowing my voice out. I actually blew my voice out at Johnny Brenda's, thinking like I was a rock star, but I had no idea how to sing. And I'm essentially just doing what, I thought you were supposed to do. And then I took some like lessons from people and realized like, it's really not, you got to practice. These guys like yell professionally though. They should totally do it. It'll like elongate their, like speaking for their life. Because what they're doing is just blowing out their voice night after night. And when you listen to a guy like, no offense to Doc Rivers, but like you can hear like coaches, like even Coach Bud, like they have this like gravelly voice. I'm like, guys,
Tibbs.
Yeah. And like teachers, like the guy that I like got lessons from a ways back was like an opera singer. And he was saying that they have like college teachers that come to them and stuff like that. Just people that project their voice even in much quieter environments than like coaches. So I think it's a real thing.
I would love if Bud starts singing his coaching from the sidelines.
Yeah, he's like doing he's doing his like lip trills before huddles or whatever.
Well, coaches don't need to like warm up. Like there's no shoot around for coaches. They should be doing like vocal exercises and like scales.
Can you imagine? Imagine if you walked back and you just saw Nick Nurse like goo 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 goo.
Yeah.
I would love that, and I actually think he probably.
You would
does.
not love that. You would hate that coach forever. Are you kidding me? You would crush that.
That's fair.
Coach.
I guess I would love it if he wasn't. If he was ashamed of it a little bit. Yeah, okay. If he was like hiding it, then I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Good for him. Like he's trying to work on himself, but he's not like out in front about it. I guess
there's no way to do these warm-ups without being like just mortally ashamed of yourself. Like if anyone walks in while you're doing this, it's like the most embarrassing thing you've ever been a part of.
Yeah, that's true.
How you feeling about the Sixers, man? Feeling like, where are you in the scale of I've given up. I just want to see the young guys. Joel might be okay. Like, how are you? Where on the prism are you?
I always like get to the ridiculous level of optimism pretty quickly, but I think this one is like, this is my optimistic bent here. It's like, I feel like the Sixers, whenever they're like supposed to do anything, this is sort of Philly sports in general, they get absolutely destroyed. Like they have no chance. If it's supposed to be good, like last year, it's like, okay, like maybe on paper this could go well. And it's like, it didn't. So I feel like when they are like, maybe, but it'll probably bomb, is like, this is sort of right. We got them right where we want them. It's like, that's the only optimistic bent, is that like, I think the world in which Embiid is even like, I don't know, somehow useful. Like another Mount Joy NBA Connect is like a front office person who used to work for the Sixers, went to the Hawks this offseason. And like that whole situation, like the Pelicans are like, trading their entire franchise to get a guy that like kind of is a big who like could be good. Like if there's just any world in which you have like a remotely good big and some guys around that, it's like, that could be fun. That's kind of where I'm at. And then if not, the young guys look pretty good.
Yeah.
This is
better fallback option than.
Yeah. This is a flex, but I did get to go to a practice before the summer league.
What was that like?
Super cool. And literally not gassing him up. Like Edgecombe is unbelievable. Like he is like jumping out of the gym, crazy block, crazy, like coming down the lane, dunking on people. Like I'm sitting there with, Nick Nurse, like, and like, it's like audible gasps in the gym. Like he's really good. I don't know. Like, I don't want to say anything too crazy, but he's the best player I've ever seen. So
paint the picture. Who else was there at the practice? Like who else was playing? Who else was on the court? Is he playing with people?
It's summer league guys. So it's the whole summer league sort of roster.
Okay.
And I think like, I think it's just the summer league guys. I mean, I don't know how much you can glean from that, other than that, like he was so clearly the best player on the floor.
That's what
it was like.
You want him to pop the thing.
Yeah. And then
he did.
And then he went to summer league and like he popped again. And then I started being like, this could be like, I don't know. I don't want to get too excited, but like, he's like, the athlete is just something that I don't think we've had. We haven't had a guy like that. So
yeah. Any songs of yours that are about the Sixers? Even a line.
Trying to think of the saddest song we have.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Next question.
Yeah. That's been tough. It's been rough. I mean,
by the way,
you guys know.
The front office guy, Peter Dinwiddie, he's a Mount Joy guy. Is that?
He's the best, by the way. And I don't know, like, yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, we never. It's a pretty weird run for Peter Dinwiddie in Philly because Elton. There was that brief period in right before Darryl got hired where they fired all those guys. They put Elton in charge of everything, and Elton hired Peter Dinwiddie basically to be like his number 2, and then they hired Darryl the month later or whatever. And Peter Dinwiddie was probably like, I don't even know if I have a fucking job, but ended up sticking around for a little while. But yeah, we never got, there was Mike, I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember when our listeners found like Peter Dinwiddie's wife's Instagram?
No.
Because he has like, he has a nerdy hinky like name and he's sort of like, and I think our listeners got very obsessed with who is this guy we just hired. And they started commenting on her Instagram of when she got married to him. And she made it private. And
that's smart.
That was the last week
I'll say
we heard from the Dinwiddies. Yeah.
I'll say, like, I'm not qualified to know this, but I think that's a big loss. I think he is like a basketball junkie, like just a guy that like travels around the world watching and scouting and, I've gotten to know him a little bit. Obviously cool music guy, just a good dude, smart dude who like his whole life is basketball. And I'm sure all those guys in the front office are. I don't know. I don't know what it takes to be a front office kind of guy, but I feel like that's a big loss. I don't know what the why is there, but I feel like you don't just lose guys like that. They've been drafting so well. Like I feel like it's hard not to feel like the guy who's traveling around scouting isn't somehow part of that.
Well, do you think that would you have more or less faith in a coach or a GM if they listen to your music? Because if a coach or GM listens to this podcast, I'm downgrading them.
I mean, I don't
want them to know what a podcast is. Like that's where I'd get out. Don't do it.
Well, that's a Darryl problem, by the way.
Yeah, that's a Darryl problem for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess my ego checking in here. I'm like, I feel like it's a good thing, but I I don't know. I like the sports person who like is a normal guy. I feel like normal guys like Brad Stevens, he seems like a pretty normal guy. Like, I feel like I've met a guy similar to a Brad Stevens. I'm like, just a smart, normal guy. And it's like, some of these guys are just like, it's a weird guy. And I can't see it working.
Joe Mazzulla.
Yes.
Not weird guy. I mean, I guess it worked once, but
yeah. It's hard to say. On some level, I want them to be normal people. On the other side, I kind of want them to be psychopaths. Yeah. Like when we interviewed Sirianni a couple weeks ago, and I said, nice. Hey, when you've had a great practice and you're driving home and you put one song on, what would that song be? And he's like, I'm usually like on the phone with one of the coaches or with my dad or something. I just like, and I kind of like that Nick doesn't have any time for music, that he's just like, he's either, because you would think he would have a tune, right? He looks like a guy that has a tune, but I kind of like the fact that he is a football psycho. So I can't tell whether I want them to have full lives or not.
Is there a world, and I love Sirianni, so yes. don't take this wrongly, but is there a world in which Mazzulla and Sirianni are sort of similar coaches?
Interesting.
No.
No?
Here's why I think not, at least from my perspective. My perspective is that the players absolutely love Sirianni because he relates to them on their level and is able to talk to them individually as if like every conversation is different. Like he manages each one of them differently. Mazzulla seems like a like the opposite of that. I don't know. When I watch him, I can't imagine him ever having a normal conversation with anybody on the team or anybody in life at all. So I think they're both, by the way, I think Joe Mazzulla is like, I love the press conferences. He's obviously a good coach. I think they're both obsessed with what they do, but it seems like in a very different way, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You ever try to Brandon Marsh your hair?
Oh,
What is that, like to sort of wet it?
Yeah.
Yeah, wet it and let it like stick to your body.
I don't know how he does that. I mean, I guess there is like a thing. I feel like when you have longer hair where it's like, if your hair is like a little bit wet, it can kind of be less annoying than when it's dry and like getting in your eye and nose and stuff like that. So I guess I could get that for a sporting situation. I've never personally tried to do that. I will say, and I don't really know, there wasn't like a huge fandom here. I think someone just thought it was funny, but for my bachelor party, a group of my friends went to a Phillies game. Phillies, tightening it up a little bit here. It's on the screen to my left, but
really
went to a Phillies game. Yeah, 6-3 now. A little bit of traffic. I think two on. But anyways, we went to a Phillies game and we did the outfield thing with a big sign. We were Marsh's Martians, and like we did like drinking games to determine like who would have to go in for like a head to toe Martian outfit. It was pretty great.
That's nice. That's very nice.
I found in my long hair period, I found it to be too annoying when it would rain. It rained and it was just like, oh, fuck, what do I do with this the rest of the day? And it was one too many rains, and I called my mom and I said, Mom, I had clippers. I said, I'm going to shave off all my hair. And she said, don't do that. And I said, why? And she's like, you're too skinny. You're going to look like something's wrong with you if you shave off all your hair. And that wasn't a good enough reason. And I got rid of it, and I haven't had long hair since. So.
One Too Many Rains is definitely the name of your album.
Yeah.
One Too Many Rains. Wow.
The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you, of course, by Kornblau Law. Is Kornblau our second sponsor after LL? I feel like he was a longtime Ricky guy. But the most important thing about Kornblau is, and Kornblau Law, which used to be Kornblau and Kornblau, but is now Kornblau Law. Different name, same great Kornblau. Adam Kornblau is, there are several great things about him. The first thing is, you hear about personal injury law firms all the time. And sometimes you hear the disclaimer at the end of it. Oh, I can't practice license. I can't practice law in your state, but reach out to me anyway. That's because most of the places that advertise are basically just looking to refer you to somebody else. So the person that you're hearing advertising is not even the person that you're dealing with. That is not the way Kornblau is. Kornblau, you're going to get Kornblau. You reach out to Kornblau Law, you're going to get him. The second reason he's really good is that he is thorough and responsive in all communications. I went through a personal injury lawsuit years and years ago, and I can tell you it wasn't the same way. It was before I knew Kornblau, but the way that he makes sure that you feel comfortable through all of it and informed is different than anyone else. And then the final thing is he's just great at what he does, whether it's medical malpractice, slip and fall, injured at work, all those things. Or honestly, if you have any sort of legal issue, I would recommend reaching out to him first. He has been known to taking on cases that he just finds interesting. I had a problem at my home, got screwed a little bit by the sellers. Kornblau helped me out, went after it, settled it, did not have to go to court, though I would have loved to see him stand trial. Is he the one standing trial if he's the lawyer? In any case, if you think you might have a case, there's no one you can reach out to but Adam Kornblau. Send him an email, kornblau@kornblaulaw.com, Kornblau, kornblau@kornblaulaw.com, or give him a call, 215-701-4467. That's 215-701-4467. Kornblau Law is the official law firm of the Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast. Now back to the pod. You guys have become, forgive me for putting you into like this corner of the musical universe, but I like to organize things. But you're in this corner of the musical universe where people just love the live shows, right? I mean, the Mountjoy people, they'll go to 10 shows or they'll go every time that you're there. And those people to me seem, and I don't mean to brand them as something that they're not, seem less interested in the recorded music and new songs and stuff, and just more interested in the hang. Like, do you as a creative person find that maybe a little frustrating or something to, you guys come out with a new album in like April or May or whenever it is, and I'm sure people loved it, but really what they're waiting for is the show or whatever. Does Does that make sense?
I feel like from my perspective, it works in this way where it's like I'm so like constantly thinking more about like, oh man, like this is we're gonna blow it or something, and like people are gonna stop coming at whatever. So my focus is more like, and the way I see Mountjoy is more like, every album cycle for us, it's like we have to deliver a certain like level so that we can rejuvenate the live show. Like I do see it that way, like from a little bit from your perspective, where it's like, I think whereas in like the pop world, the show is marketing the song, which is probably on the radio and maybe in commercials and whatever, and is making a bunch of money that way. And that's the industry. Obviously now, like if you're a big pop star and you're on an arena tour, you're making a bunch of money doing that too. So that's changed a bit, but I think like, for us, it's a little bit different. It's like we got to put out an album, and I think it's got to be good enough that those songs can be integrated into the show and feel like they belong. And then that's keeping us fresh and keeping the thing fresh. Because I do think like even for bands that are more like live sort of oriented, if you don't have new stuff or new jams or whatever, if you're a jam band, like I think there's just a lot of bands. There's just a lot of competition, and eventually someone will replace you.
One of the obviously both of us writing.
Yeah,
there you go.
Congrats, by the way. So cool.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Oh, Friday debut?
No, tonight.
Oh, tonight
at midnight Eastern time. So by the time you're listening to this, The Office, we'll talk about it in the intro probably, but The Office spinoff, The Paper, will be out on Peacock, all episodes. Watch it. We wrote them all of us, but we are credited as writers of episode 3. Anyway, that's not my question. My question is not about myself, but part of being a writer, I've now had to watch the episodes a bunch of times, whatever. But once it's done, that's it. And we won't watch them many more times, probably ever. But for you are performing them all the time. And when I watch something like we went to the premiere like last week or whatever, and there's episodes that we shot and it was like, oh, we could have done this line or this line instead. Like then now we can't change it, which is, frustrating on some level. But for you, you're still performing it. Are there times when you go like, this is now in the song, I can't change it, but I still have to like keep doing it over and over again? Does that ever, do you think about that?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
100%. That's a good question. I feel like it's sort of this thing where it's like, especially for us, because I feel like our first album is like still our biggest output and still the songs that people attach themselves to seemingly the most.
How old were you in that album when you wrote
I made that album when I was like, I just turned 35. I made that album when I was like 24, and I probably realistically started writing some of those songs when I was like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah. If I had to read some of my old scripts from that age, which helped me get where I am, but if I would not feel, I'd not feel great about them, let's say.
Yeah. Some of them for me, like it goes in cycles where it's like, there are times when like we physically, we'll have to take a song out for like a little bit, because it's just like I can't I can't take myself seriously.
Yeah.
And singing is so weird. Music is so weird too, where it's like this whole performance. Like you're up there, and like if you have any sort of metacognition during it, you're like, what am I doing?
Yes. Yeah.
So there's that, and that'll happen with like a song where you're like not super confident or proud of or something like that, but maybe it connected with people, and you just kind of have to be like, look, people are enjoying it. I don't know why, but we're out here, and this is what we're doing right now. Yeah. But yeah, it definitely happens.
Have you ever like changed a word in like a little way just to be like, I can't fucking say it like that?
Or like maybe not necessarily changed a word, or like I'll do a thing where like, so this is a specific example. So there's a song, Rearrange Us.
I know it. I like it.
Yeah. And like, thank you. And it's like, but it's got this part that's like, the lyric is like, you're naked in the flashing light, white on white, which in my mind as like a 20 something writing the song, I was thinking about how like the light in the room lighting up the white walls was like a white light on this white room.
Sure.
But then someone commented at some point, like astutely being like, is this like because you're having sex with a white woman, like white on white? And I was like, oh,
That'll stick with you.
I was like, I never thought of it that way, but that is how it comes across.
Sure, yeah.
And so when I sing that, I feel so embarrassed that I will often pull off the mic and just kind of swallow that like 3-word thing. I'll be like, naked in the flash, like, whoa, whoa. You know, like,
yeah, I get that.
Just kind of swallow that and keep it moving.
Sure.
Because there's definitely stuff like that where you're like, oh man, I never thought of it that way, but like I didn't intend for it to have any sort of racial like whatever that is. But and that definitely happens.
Yeah, I get it. I relate to that.
So good. Well, yeah, it's funny. Like I want to have. I know. Like, I'm so happy that I know so many musicians because I love music so much and I was never good at it or whatever. So I can sort of live vicariously. So I feel like I have empathy for that sort of being sick of doing it. But then when I go to a show, so I have very wide musical taste. And both my wife and I love the Backstreet Boys, right? It was one of our bonding moments. And I'll never forget, like second or third time we saw them, they did As Long As You Love Me in some weird fucking, like they changed the music up. It was some different interpolation of it. All I could talk about afterwards is how they fucked up As Long As You Love Me. Just play it like it's on the record. And I'm embarrassed, but that's how I really felt. But I understand from a human perspective how it could drive you crazy. But then you think about it from the people that come to like watch you play, and it's like a whole different perspective sometimes, you know?
Yeah. We talk about that a little bit, like, so, you know, we jam a bit, you know, and we'll talk about like, oh, what if we threw like a jam in the middle of this? And then sometimes when it's with one of our like more popular songs or something like that, would be like, people just want to hear the song. Like they just, you know, but yeah, something we think about.
When you had Bud or Nick Nurse, who is like the like lowest level celebrity person that you wanted to like shout out at the show? Who's a person that
I feel like we have a lot of that because of just like the nature of our low level of celebrity ourselves. So it's we generally attract a similar clientele, but I don't know. I'm also not. I would never be like, and in the audience tonight, in row 3. Okay. I don't think I've ever done
they'd
that.
appreciate that. I mean, like Nick Nurse probably like loses his mind. I mean, like,
he stands up and like lifts his cap.
Yeah. Crowd gets on him. Celebrity row.
Can you imagine shouting out Peter Dinwiddie?
Peter Dinwiddie in the crowd. Jared McCain's neighbor.
Yep.
I'll say this: those guys came to Red Rocks. Not Nick Nurse, but at least Peter Dinwiddie did. And like, I think he's a cool guy. I really like him. But therefore, like, there are times when I'm just, I never see anyone in the crowd, but it does work like that. It seems like we're like scanning thousands of people. I'm like, oh, there's Peter Dinwiddie. That did happen.
I'm pretty confident that's an experience no other rock star has ever had. I feel very certain of that.
Every time
you're probably right.
Every time somebody brings up Red Rocks, I say this: if you are interested in music at all, it is an experience that you have to have, is to go see a show there. Amos played there a few years ago, and my brother and I went. It's just like, it doesn't seem like a real place, honestly. It seems like you're in a music like wonderland or something. It feels like you're in space. It is what a wild experience. Playing there must be otherworldly, you know?
It's crazy, man. It's one of those things where like, and I don't know, you guys perform. Do you guys ever get nervous doing the pod? Probably not.
I do every time.
Yeah.
Every time. Right now?
Well, not once we're in it, but when we start. Live shows you've seen me, I'm a fucking psychopath, but like it's stage shows. But when we just do the pod regular, and when I do the radio show, which I do every day of my life, I'm like nervous / anxious for the first 2 to 5 minutes of everything that I do. So every podcast, every radio show. Yeah.
Mike's not nervous. She's never scared.
No, I mean, doing this show in like if we took it around the country, then probably we'd get like less. We're not stand-ups, right? We're not like getting, oh, that's a good room, it's a bad room, whatever. It's really just like being like a 6-year-old like performing for your aunts and uncles. Like it's like everybody likes it. Yay, good job. He said he did a normal collar joke. Everybody's excited to hear it. Like it's really not that. It's,
Selling your collar joke short, but
Thank you.
Anyway,
but no, I think the Red Rocks thing is just like the first time we did it, that was the most nervous I've ever been in my life.
Well,
like for sure. Like, well, also because it's like you can't breathe up there. It's like 6,000 some feet, as Spike has.
yes,
It's
a real thing.
But
Yeah.
a real thing. I can attest. Singing up there is difficult. Like you have to breathe more. And yeah, you're like a little lightheaded and you're nervous, and that does, those things going together. I feel like it's hard to play. Like we've been fortunate to do it a few times, and it gets easier, but it's never like the day after. It's one of those things, I think, where like you realize how nervous you were, how like stressed your body was. You're like, whoa, that was like crazy. Like you just feel like totally sort of dopamine depleted. It's like it's like a musical coliseum. The artist is like, I think what sets it apart. There's a couple places like this. The Greek Berkeley in San Francisco is sort of like this, where it's like you're on the stage and then the audience is above you, and like so normally for me, to avoid the like really awkward, I'm singing a love song and I look into some like Republican's eyes, I'll like stare out over the top of the heads,
Peter Dinwiddie's out there somewhere. I'm sitting with him, baby.
yeah.
Dude, he doesn't seem like he fits the bill, but no, I will look out like over the top of people's heads because I'm up on a stage, and it just avoids awkward eye contact or something. But there, it's like there's nowhere to look except like at a wall of people and these rocks and stuff. So it's pretty epic. I think, like Spike said, if you have a chance to see a show there, it's also just beautiful up there. You can hike around during the day, and it's great.
Well, the first time we saw it was 4 or 6 months into COVID or whatever, when nobody was doing anything. I went with my brother to go hiking in Colorado, and we just walked to Red Rocks, like hiked to it. And it's even, to your point, even during the day when there's not a show going on there, it's pretty stunning. All right. I'm going to try to make this interesting for everybody, but this is a question I have for you, Matt, that I would have asked you privately, but it's funnier to do it on the podcast because I know he'll hear about it. So to explain to Mike and everybody listening, there's a guy named John Brazier who works for the Phillies. John's worked for the Phillies for a very long time. His official title is Director of Fun and Games. But like, so he will do like, he'll help. And he loves music. He's an enormous music guy. So he'll like help with the promo nights. And when we go to spring training, he helps get us the guests, whatever. So we're at spring training. John's a very nice guy. He's got a joke and a story for everybody. Anyway, so it's before dinner and he's sitting there and he mentions Mountjoy, mentioned to you. And I was like, oh yes, I know him. And he was like, I had this science teacher and I wrote all these lyrics to a fucking song and I gave them to Matt, and I think they're going to make a song. And he sat there with me at the bar and read every verse and the chorus of it, looking for this reaction from me. And I'm like, John, I don't know this teacher. I guess it was a teacher that did drugs or something, or thought everybody was cool. And can you say for sure that you can let John off easy here, that it is never going to be a Mountjoy song?
I feel like that would crush him. I feel like I feel like you never say never. I feel like it's got its own category of song.
Okay.
That it'll live there as its own category. Listen, this is a John Brazier original. I think you laid it out pretty well. He's a Philly legend, like in a way where like if I'm making like which maybe Mike should. Well, you guys should make, honestly, like if I'm making like a 30 for 30 on the like sort of underground of like cool Philly people that like kind of make the Philly sports scene, which you guys are totally a part of and deserve a lot of credit for. Like, I think what makes Philly sports great is like, of course, the teams and the team's success, but you guys have sort of proved that like it sort of goes beyond the team's success to like the characters that like surround the teams, obviously the media that surrounds the team. And John sort of fits like really perfectly into that, where he's just like a one-of-one guy who, basically if you are any level of celebrity, which is like Z-list guys like me, and then like A-list Jason Kelce's or whatever, like he meets you at the door, if you do like throughout the first pitch or whatever, he meets you at the door, yeah, it tells you incredible stories about the Phillies. He's been there for like 30 some years. And just like brings an incredible vibe. And my little brother, I guess like had class with a teacher, and I think it may be complete like folklore, but like the folklore in school amongst the kids, I can't say that this is like actually what was happening, but was that like the guy like on his own time smoked weed or something like that. So they changed his name to Mr. Herb. And that's like what the kids called him. And it turned out that John Brazier and the teacher with the pseudonym are close. So like John got such a kick out of that. He had never heard anyone call him that. And it like sent John, and he loved it so much that he wrote a song. And I was like, dude, I'll put some music to it. And it was funny. He's a funny guy. Like, everyone should be so lucky to meet John Brazier. He's an awesome guy.
He is a very Philadelphia original. Absolutely. 100%. He used to, now Mike, John actually famously lost his World Series ring after the Phillies won in 2008, left it in the bathroom once, and somebody had to find it. I think a cleaning person found it. But he would always tell the story of, I interviewed Harry Callis at spring training probably 2 weeks before he passed away. And when we got there to do the interviews, it was when I was working for WISP, our recorder thing didn't work. And we realized it the day of the interviews, but we didn't want to admit that it didn't work. This was a long time ago. The technology was not very good. So we did all these interviews and none of them were recorded, and we knew it the entire time. And Brazier always tells that story that I fucked up one of the last interviews with Harry Callis.
Sucks.
Yeah. So there you go.
Great though. That's what makes life fun.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
I think I had a question. When you're on stage, you are like the leader of all these people, both in the band and all the people watching and even like working at the venue and stuff. Do you feel a sense of like calm or panic that like the show and the tempo of everything is like in your hands and that you are responsible for things like running smoothly?
It's a good question. I honestly think that at this point we have like an amazing crew around us where like, I don't think that's even really true. Like, I feel like there's like people who do security and like I wouldn't even know what to do during certain things other, like God forbid something happened. I mean, if like an emergency happens in the crowd, I'll stop the show or something like that. That's pretty much the extent of it. But I think like what's interesting about what you're saying is like the less that I'm thinking, I think this goes for any musician, probably any athlete too, the less that like I'm thinking about like my role as like the leader or like the whatever. And the more I'm just like, oh, I love playing guitar and like, this is awesome. Then like those are like transcendently good shows for us. They don't happen all the time. Like I'd be lying if it's not like there aren't times when I'm like, whoa, like what is that guy wearing? Or something where you're just like totally not in it. And maybe you are thinking about your role or someone else's role or something like that. But the cool thing about music, I think, and like what draws me to do it so often, like we talked about, is just like, you get a chance to like get in that flow state with like other people. And like that's what drew me to sports. And I think as well. And then like music is the same way. It's just like, you're doing something with other people. And like, it's just, that actually takes you out of that space that you spend most of the day in where you're worrying about stuff like that. But yeah, I think we've gotten lucky where like, yeah, you want to like build a crew and build a situation where you don't have to like think about stuff, I think.
But you could make them do like crazy shit if you wanted though.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're saying like have intrusive thoughts about like, I should make them all take their shirts off or something.
Yeah. Anything, man. There's so many people there. You could do anything.
I've definitely
but even
done
like,
that.
my anxiety would be like, I feel like the most anxious I ever am is on an airplane right as we're deplaning, right before I'm about to like get off and get my bag from the overhead and walk out, and like I'm gonna do it in the smoothest, most economical, fastest fashion. There was some stand-up, I forget who it was, I'm sorry, but like he had a joke about acting as if he's about to get punched in the back of the head if he doesn't go fast enough. And I would feel like if like you're plugging into a different amp or you're waiting for like a new guitar to come in or whatever, the like sense of calm, I was just wondering basically about the sense of calm that you have, that everyone is watching you and like taking cues from you of what to do in this moment and how much you have them in your hand. And like, do you start to feel like I have to fill the space? I am, this is taking too long. Like those kinds of feelings as you're sort of setting the pace for how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like a performance element that you just have to get good at over I'm very comfortable saying like part of the Mountjoy story is like we're one of the like last like bands that got to do it the sort of old fashioned way where like we went out, we kind of sucked, like we played a bunch of shows and got better and better and better and better because we got the opportunity to play like a lot. And part of getting better is totally that. Like, you know, I see a band, I would say that like music done simply is when it's at its best anyways. So it's rarely the music that like trips up a band. It's the stuff you're talking about. It's the like, it looks awkward. They look uncomfortable. And that kills a show. Like if the band doesn't look comfortable, it's like awkward to be there. Like singing about their ex-girlfriend, they look uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. I think that is a huge part of like band growth, and people will probably often mistake like, wow, this band's gotten so much better musically when a lot of it is just their comfort level in being a performer.
You got to be watching it. If you're just listening to the
listening face generates balloons from this software.
Happy birthday, dude.
Not locked in, man.
Yeah. I don't even know what I was saying other than that. I think you're onto something there. Like the better you get it, the performance aspect, which that is the hardest part, like changing guitars. We have a talkback system, and like the worst thing that can happen is like drummers like, hold on, I need a minute. And you're like, what? A minute?
Yeah.
You have to like crack a joke, or I don't know. That can be really tough, but you just learn to, I guess just like, I don't know, just not care as much about. Like at this point, I've done.
And assistant GM's in the house tonight. I would do something like that.
You'd be way better at it than me. I wish I was
pitching,
funny.
Man. It's your show. I'm pitching for you. I'm just pitching in your voice.
Dude, I should do that now. I do it in Philly. See where the Rice Ricky Sanchez fans are. I will say to you guys, for you guys' credit, we do these like meet and greets before a lot of shows and all over the country. Obviously in Philly, when we do it, there'll be people that do it, but you know, someone will like come and take a picture with their girlfriend, and the guy will be like walking. I'd be like, you down with TTP? It happens all the time. Swear to God. So
love having our psychos all over the place. It's like almost like a threat. It's almost like a very quiet threat to everyone that we know, that they're everywhere. If you could write, record, and then perform a song with any person, living or dead, any other musician, who would it be? Not including your bandmates. I know you love them.
And you don't have to say me.
Yeah, you don't have to say me, because he's not a musician, and you would have never picked him.
He's a writer, though.
Yeah, he is a writer.
True.
I'll probably say Jerry Garcia. I feel like just such like an interesting guy. I feel like it'd be a fun session. He's incredible, or was incredible.
That is weird. I grew up not liking them at all. I was metal guy, and then rap guy, and then whatever. And then as I get older, I found the same thing with Dylan. Is like I didn't like Dylan until I read like Stephen Hayden had 2 chapters in his book about Dylan. And what's that one show he did where he played electric or something?
Newport Folk. We just did that, yeah.
And I read the whole story about it. I was like, this guy was kind of a badass. And then I kind of appreciated Dylan. And The Dead and Jerry Garcia is, as I get older, it's another one of those things that now I listen to it and I watch stuff and I'm like, they were pretty fucking cool. I didn't get it at the time, but I kind of get it the older I get.
Yeah, it's an acquired thing. It's different than a lot of like, it's its own thing. You know, that's what I kind of like about it. I feel like Mountjoy, like the dream for Mountjoy, I've always said this because people are like, what genre are you guys? Like people have a tough time putting us in a box. And like, feel like the coolest thing about the Grateful Dead, and I'm not comparing Mountjoy to the Grateful Dead, but the coolest thing about the Grateful Dead is that like they did a bunch of different types of music. They just kind of did what they wanted to do. And, you know, whether you like it or not, like they crushed it, you know, like they were one of the most iconic live touring bands ever. So would love to kind of just fit into that box where you get to make, you know, they made like kind of disco sounding records. They made bluegrass sounding records. They kind of just did whatever they want. And I feel like a lot of times now in the Spotify playlist world that we live in, like bands are like, oh, I'm indie chill. You know,
Right,
it's like, and they're just doing that. And it's like, well, you can do whatever you want. You can be on other playlists. So yeah, I really respect that about them. They just like made the shit that they loved. And I look up to that.
Where are you watching Eagles Cowboys tomorrow?
So I'm in Vermont. That's just kind of my like in between tours, just like touch some grass. I was going to be in Philly, but I just was like, all right, I'm going to watch up here. And I was going to go to a bar, but I'm sure I've heard your takes on this, especially up here. Like I can't be there. And some guy's like, who's that? You know? And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Takes you out of it.
Yeah.
You feel good about the game? I kind of feel like it's a blowout, honestly.
I mean, the
Cowboys don't have a lot of good players, man.
The offense is interesting. I think that would be the only way. Like, and plus, it's like, we've all been Philly sports, or at least around Philly sports for long enough to know, like the Eagles could totally lose by 3 touchdowns tomorrow, and it's like, oh no,
come out flat. Could absolutely come out flat.
Throw the ball well or something. It's like, oh no.
It's really nice to not. I mean, Spike, I know you have to, and I'm not saying I don't care, but it's nice to not really care that much. It's just
because they won the Super Bowl.
They just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they beat the Chiefs by 1 million.
Well,
it was the best. It was the fucking best, and now it's just like. I'm good for the next like 3-4 years, and I'm excited for football. I'm excited to watch football. I'm excited for the Eagles to be back. I hope they win again. But like the level of, I'm gripping tightly for the Phillies, because it's been a while, obviously since 08. I'm gripping, in a way that will kill me for the Sixers. The levels of grip that doctors don't recommend. Blood coming out of everywhere for the Sixers. But for the Eagles, man, I'm just like, it's good, man. They lose, they win. It's going to be fine. It's going to be good.
So I think a lot of people have been, at least in my interactions with people, have been that way this offseason until they fucking are down 9-6 at the half tomorrow. And then they'll be fucking out for blood once again.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that for people. I think this is growth that I'm just not going to be that upset. I might be annoyed.
Yeah,
but it's I'm not. It's really like I feel they beat the Chiefs by 1 million. They
Commanders too.
Just crushed them. They destroyed the Commanders. Like they just ran through these. They were the best team in football. Like man, and they won. And they like the to get over the Chiefs loss previously, and also even having like all right, maybe the Foles one, which was magical and special. Like there was no fluke. This was not a fluke win.
No.
I felt a little bit, I've said this before, but I felt a little bit like the Phillies beating the Rays in the World Series. I feel a little bit unsatisfied by that. Just like a little bit unsatisfied, and I wish that they beat the Yankees the following year. And so the fact that the Eagles beat the Chiefs, the three-peating Chiefs, with one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and Andy, and they beat him by 1 billion. One of the most satisfying moments of all time.
It's as good as it gets.
I met T.O. today.
Oh, that's dope. I've met him before.
I've met T.O. We've all met T.O.
Three guys who've all met T.O. That's
you
the name of the
remember-
podcast. We start together.
I don't remember.
Talk to
I
you
don't know
about
if you remember
their T.O. stories.
The lore of him getting in the fight with Hugh Douglas, and we had them. They hadn't seen each other since the fight, and we had them because I work with Hugh too. We had them on stage talking about the fight, seeing each other for the first time in 20 years.
Wow,
that's cool.
And they were cool. Everything was good. T.O. was very nice. It was very nice. So, well, Matt, we're very proud of you, and we're happy for you. And
Proud of you
we're glad
guys.
came on the pod.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Proud of you guys. I'll say you guys have built something super cool. I know I said this before, like it's a huge part of like why Philly sports is awesome is that we have things like this, which is like, it's a hedge against the Sixers losing. It's like, obviously it's great when the Sixers are winning, but you guys hope you realize that you're just the perfect hedge against, like the Sixers could be terrible, but I've still got Ricky Sanchez, which is like it's the perfect hedge.
That's very nice. Well, we'd
Thank
love
you.
to open up for you at Red Rocks sometime. I think your audience would love it. People, it's
Lock it
enough
in.
with this opener stuff where it's another musician that's like kind of like the guy that's gonna. You need a podcast. You need a Sixers podcast in a wrong town. I think would be
yes, in Colorado.
yeah. Try it out.
We actually had our road manager give 7 facts about nature. So we've had weirder. That was what opened for us at Red Rocks this year.
That's nice.
Be happy to. And if anyone listening is interested, September 26th and 27th at the Mann, which is, by the way, what a beautiful time of year to go to the Mann, because end of September, little cool fall air at the Mann. So,
Amazing.
Thanks for selling that. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Thank you, Matt. I'll see you at some of my rec league women's basketball games. Get on out.
Let's go. I'm looking forward to some big numbers.
Let's go, baby. All right, bud. Thank you.
All right, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
dude.
That's it.
There
Another
he is.
August.
There's
Another August behind us.
Matt, the tickets, Ticketmaster.com. Hope We Have Fun is their album that came out in the spring, which is good. Kind of sounds like Radiohead a little bit. So anyway, we will talk to you next time. Do we have anything else? Oh, Shane Battier coming up next week. That'll be exciting. And
gonna ask
we're
him
in August number 26 until October.
So many more Augusts to go.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next time. Are you done with TTP?
Yeah. You. Nope. Lick face.
If you don't fuck with me, then I won't fuck with you.
If you don't fuck with me,
Then I won't fuck with you.
but if you fuck with me,
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
Time for plan B.